Hey everyone! Welcome to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Every twist, every whisper, every behind-the-scenes detail is right here, so stay with us until the end, and if you're new, you know what to do. Now, the story lighting up every timeline today centers on two names that have been intertwined in the public imagination for years, Hazal and Çağatay Ulusoy. They're back in the headlines, but not because of a nostalgic reunion or a cozy throwback to their unforgettable on-screen partnership. No. This time, it's a storm sparked by a daring new film and a rumor that refuses to settle. The project fronted by Hazal exploded onto the digital platform the moment it premiered. It's bold, it's intimate, and it refuses to look away. Within hours, scenes from the film were fragmenting across social media, cut into clips, captioned with shock and awe. Then came the rumor, one that instantly took over the conversation. It claims that Çağatay Ulusoy watched the film and was blindsided by the intensity of certain scenes, surprised to see his former co-star depicted with such raw honesty. For fans who still remember the rush of Adini Ferry Hakoydam and the electricity that Hazal and Çağatay created together, the idea of him reacting strongly to her new direction was enough to send hearts racing and comments spiraling. Just when everyone thought time had diffused the tension that always trails their names, this rumor reignited it. According to whispers floating from people said to be close to the situation, Çağatay only learned about the most talked-about scenes after the movie landed on the platform. The story goes further. He allegedly questioned why some scenes, reported to be the ones driving the buzz, were reinstated by the final cut after being considered for removal by the production team. In minutes, the narrative shape-shifted into a digital wildfire. Threads multiplied, timelines flooded, and fan camps drew their lines. Hazal has stayed quiet, at least on the surface. Those who claim to know what's happening behind closed doors say she's pouring all her energy into the success of the film and is letting the work speak for itself. The director, meanwhile, has retreated into silence. No official responses, no clarifications. And as every savvy observer of the industry knows, silence can be a strategy. The more they say nothing, the louder everyone else speaks. This hush only fueled the frenzy. The movie's viewership spiked to record levels on day 2. When digital platform insiders started hinting that even they didn't anticipate this scale of reaction, curiosity turned into obsession. Was the uproar really about the film's craft, or was it about the names attached to it? Some critics argue that the heat isn't solely about the storytelling, it's about the weight that Hazal and Çağatay still carry as a pair in the public's memory, the undeniable magic they etched into television history. Others raised an eyebrow and asked if this was all part of a carefully orchestrated marketing plan. People in Hazal's orbit say the actress was initially stunned by the noise. She reportedly worried that this instant controversy would swallow the conversation about the artistry. But as days passed and the film's numbers climbed, the mood shifted. It is said that she recognized the momentum for what it was, proof that the film had punctured the surface of comfort, which is what it set out to do. Those same voices say she's quietly insisting, "I'm standing up for my art." For Hazal, this project isn't a footnote, it's the doorway to a new chapter, a story about a woman's reality told without coyness or apology. The intimate scenes, sources insist, are integral to the emotional architecture of the film. Yet the discourse isn't staying in the lanes of cinema. The tug-of-war online is between those who defend Hazal's choices as brave and necessary, and those who feel the film's intensity risks overshadowing the legacy of the duo who once defined an era for TV viewers. Somewhere in the middle sits that rumor about Çağatay. Some fans claim he asked for nothing more than restraint. He was just concerned about audience sensitivity, they say. He didn't call for the film to be pulled. He just worried the tone might be too heavy for some. So where did the narrative of outrage come from? In a world where a raised eyebrow becomes a scandal by sundown, nuance rarely survives the rush. What we do know is that the speculation is feeding the phenomenon. The film's watch time is soaring. The platform's top row can't let go of it. And while the director refuses to step in front of a microphone, columnists are stepping into the spotlight instead. One wrote, "These two are a gravitational force." Put their names in the same sentence, and the entire industry pivots to look. That sentiment, like everything else this week, has only added more heat. Another layer cooled from rumor into story today. There's talk that Hazal plans to host a gala screening. An elegant night, big lights, the kind of red carpet that swallows the city whole. And this is the part everyone seized on, an invitation is said to have been delivered to Çağatay. If he attends, it would mark the first time in years that they'd be photographed side by side, and you don't need a publicist to know what that would do to the conversation. Every lens would turn. Every caption would write itself. Sources say Hazal is preparing with meticulous intent. The look, the message, the pace of the night, everything is calibrated to say one thing: I'm not backing away. I'm standing with my film. Those words, whether heard in whispers or inferred from choices, are already ricocheting from dressing rooms to newsrooms. But while the carpet might glitter, behind it, tensions are said to be building. We're hearing that even the guest list triggered heated exchanges between camps. The moment Çağatay's name appeared on that list, the tabloids began to purr. Would they meet? Would there be a moment? A stare? A smile? A statement? Or would the air crackle and send the night veering into another headline? There are claims, unconfirmed, of course, that the invitation was not an accident, not a courtesy, but a chess move. If both appear, the movie becomes more than a movie, it becomes an event. It becomes a national conversation about love and art and the ghosts of old chemistry. It becomes the story of the week, the month, maybe the year. And for some, that is precisely the point. From what we're hearing around Çağatay's circle, the situation is more nuanced than the noise suggests. People close to him reportedly feel uneasy about the way the film's most discussed scenes are being packaged across social feeds, divorced from context and used as provocation. The concern, they say, is not prudishness, it's perception. This pair is woven into the memory of millions. Their names are shorthand for a particular kind of yearning, a lightning that struck once and lasted for years. When that memory is pulled into a controversy, it can bruise both sides. That said, even these cautious voices seem divided. Some urge him to say nothing and let the wave pass. Others push for a statement that supports the art while asking for conversation over sensationalism. Meanwhile, the fans are split into three currents. One urges unconditional support, he should stand by her. Another questions whether such boldness was essential for the story. And then there is the largest crowd of all, the ones who have been quiet for years but never stopped hoping, the reunion dreamers. To them, every rumor is a prophecy. Every unseen glance is proof that the universe is arranging something. These are the viewers who would freeze time to bring those two back into the same frame. And then the whispers turned into something louder, talk of a future project. Some gossip columns insist that this supposedly icy air is the first blast of a well-planned wind meant to push them onto the same set again. Imagine that, after all these years, to see Hazal and Çağatay share scenes once more. The promise alone would glue an entire country to their screens. But is it real? Is it luck? Is it planted? So far, neither side has answered that question. No official statements. No confirmations. No denials. Only the steady rise of questions. The silence is becoming its own storyline. Every day without an answer pulls the audience deeper into the mood of suspense. As one television critic put it, they have an orbit. Even from a distance, they pull everything around them into motion. That's how stars work. We're hearing that the director is committed to saying nothing until the storm settles. That choice, say insiders, is deliberate. Let the film talk. Let curiosity drive clicks. The metrics don't lie. The platform has already reported historic numbers, and the replay rate on the most debated segments is off the charts. Whether people watch to argue or to admire, they watch. Numbers are indifferent to motive. Back to the gala. The dress is rumored to be a statement in itself, a silhouette that signals resolve rather than surrender. Hazal's team, if you believe the chatter, is crafting an entrance that will read like a headline. The posture says, "I know what I made. I'm proud of it. I will not apologize for the story we told." The question that dangles stubbornly is whether Çağatay will walk into that light. His side, or those who claim to speak for it, say he doesn't want his presence to pour gasoline on a blaze that, in his view, should never have been about him in the first place. But with every passing hour, pressure grows. Fans want clarity. The industry wants a picture. The press wants a moment. And somewhere in the middle, two artists with a shared history are trying to decide if appearing together is solidarity, spectacle, or a trap. Here's what we can say with confidence. The film is not slowing down. The rumors are not cooling off. And whether by design or by chance, the speculation about a future collaboration has turned a single project into a crossroads. Hazal reportedly believes that the film should not be remembered for a controversy, but for the story it champions. A woman fighting through the noise of expectations to claim her own narrative. If you listen hard, you can hear the determination in the way her team speaks about the work. A line has been drawn. The scenes many call provocative are, to them, essential to the truth of the character. As for Çağatay, the portrayal of him as outraged does not match what more measured voices suggest. If anything, they say, he felt protective of audiences who have long associated the pair with a certain innocence, a certain ache that lived behind glances and unsaid words. He knows the conversation can turn, and he knows that once the internet pins a story to your name, it takes a bulldozer to scrape it off. But there is a difference between caution and censorship, and those who know him insist he has never asked for the art to be erased, only understood. So here we are, watching both a movie and a mirror. The numbers rise. The lines harden. The questions linger. Will Çağatay take that step onto the carpet? Will Hazal break her official silence at the gala and anchor the conversation back where she wants it, on the film, on the craft, on the heartbeat of the story? Will the director emerge when the time is right to harvest this energy and plant it in their next venture? And will the whispers about a new joint project crystallize into a slate announcement that would turn nostalgia into present tense? For now, all we have is the promise of one glittering night and the pulse of a million curious hearts. If they stand side by side, a flash will go off, and the world will write its own meaning. If they don't, the absence will write its own paragraph. Either way, the film is already part of pop culture's current diary. And the names, Hazal Kaya and Çağatay Ulusoy, are once again a sentence people cannot stop finishing. You've been watching Turkish Spotlight Secrets. If this story kept you captivated, make sure you're subscribed and share this video with someone who remembers every scene, every line, every glance. The next chapter is coming, and you'll hear it here first.